Hello, friends. I did it. If you heard my last podcast, I talked about gratitude and I mentioned 2 people in my life that I have immense gratitude for. And in my podcast prior to that, I discussed shame and guilt and my move that's coming up soon, and my parents that I'm essentially estranged from reaching out and wanting to see me before I go. And I really told myself to hold off on responding about that. And, I spoke with my therapist about it and a couple close friends. And I've came to the decision that I can't see them. It's not conducive to my healing. And I was trying to figure out a way to say it to them, because when someone doesn't like to lose control, or they're narcissistic or whatever, like my parents, when they hear a boundary given or a declining of meeting up with somebody or anything that doesn't fit what they expect, which, we'll never know what they expect because they don't ever say those words exactly, usually causes a shutdown or ugliness or drama. And the kind person in me wanted to be able to tell my father, who was really the only one that wanted to meet up, that I couldn't do it. But I had that guilt and shame and essentially more rejection to deal with. But I figured it out. I bit the bullet, and I texted him and told him that I didn't expect for him to understand my reason for not seeing them, but I hoped that he respected it the best way he could. And even that message, I don't even care if he respects it. I don't know why I said that part. But he responded that he understood and he respected it. And we had a little bit of surface text conversation. He seems to be doing better health-wise. He's terminally ill, but it's not cancer. It's a really unique disease that affects the muscles in your body, involuntary and voluntary. And anyway, that's a big can of worms. But he essentially is sick forever until he passes. And he just functions the best way he can with the treatments they give him, but it's not enough information. It's kind of like lupus, but it's not lupus, but lupus with the idea that there's not enough research or information yet, because it's just one more thing, that our bodies are responding to. And I know from a spiritual level why he's going through this, because he pushed himself so hard in most of his life, working and a workaholic and being negative, being around negativity and ignoring his needs. All of that manifests into ailments and illness. I mean, I have my own ailments and illness because I wasn't healing or taking care of my needs. So yeah, I don't wish this any terminal illness on anybody, especially my dad. I love him. But, I feel really good that I was finally able to say something like, hey, I'm not going to be able to see you guys. I'll keep you posted about when I am traveling and when I get to my destination safely. And one day we can possibly start video chatting or something. I don't know why I was stalling to say that, because, well, I do know why. Because of the possible rejection or drama that he could provide back. But I felt really good about it when I finally said it. And I also told myself not to have any expectations about responses. Apparently, my mom has blocked me, even though she called me, because she's not getting my text. I don't know. Phones are weird and finicky, but I let my dad know that she hadn't responded to me, but basically to pass it on to her about not meeting because it's not conducive to my healing. So yeah, I'm really freaking stoked about being able to do that, and I feel I'm going to have to do that with a couple other people in my life, but before I move, but that's okay. I can do it. So I'm traveling for work next week. I travel once every 3 or 4 months for a couple days, usually. And it's going to be in Colorado, which I've never been to Colorado, so that's exciting. And I'm going to see one of my really close soul sisters that over a year ago, I joined a spiritual group of various women, various ages and life experiences. And we're all over the United States, and a couple are over in the Scandinavian countries. I think Finland or one of those. And we chat, we have an open group chat, and we try to meet on Zoom and stuff, and it's really good. It's support, and it's spiritual healing and opening up to, our gifts, because we're all gifted in some way. But anyway, I'm going to meet one of the soul sisters that I have. I told her no pressure. She is going to be about 30 minutes from where I'm staying. I look forward to seeing her, but if she for some reason isn't comfortable driving, like if the weather's bad or whatever, I'm giving her an out. And I fully plan on seeing her in the future if it's not going to be during this trip. But I'm excited about that because I love her. She's very important to me in my life. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of my soul sisters as I get settled up in my new home. Surround yourself with people that are rooting for you. Even when, or especially when, they might be going through struggles of their own, but they're still able to say, way to go, you're doing great, I'm proud of you, I love you, let me know if you need anything, let me know if I can help you in any way, I'm here to listen to you, I'm here to talk. We all need that, and I'm so blessed that I have that now, because I didn't have that for, 30 years of my life. I didn't have a safe place. I didn't have safe people. If I had safe people, I didn't ever really have enough time with them to like open up and say like what was really going on in my childhood and stuff, because I didn't want anything worse to happen to me or my siblings, or if I said the wrong thing to the wrong person thinking that they were a safe person. So that really sucks, that I know there's plenty of people in this world, and maybe it's you listening right now, that you experienced trauma of some sort in your life and you weren't sure who to talk to about it because you weren't sure who was safe. Safe people exist. Sometimes you have to get out of your own way to find them. Actually, all of the problems that I am experiencing in my life are my own issues with being in my own way. I want you to really wrap your mind around what I just said. All of the problems and issues that I have been experiencing in my life, as an adult at least, is because I've been getting in my own way. I think that really rings true with a lot of people, maybe everybody. That's a focus of mine, is to get myself out of my own way. Stop stalling, stop making excuses, stop dreading or dwelling on the negative aspects that could possibly happen. Being hypervigilant is a thing that I am. And I am also very strategic. It's my top strength. And my mind can go through several different scenarios of how something could happen, would happen, may happen, and what the outcome would be. And I'll tell you right now, it's not always positive when I think that way. It's mostly not. It helps me do really well with my work because I am able to provide various outcomes, and of course I try to make them positive. And I really try to lean into my strengths that I was essentially tested for after I was hired, to know what my top strengths were, and strategy was number one. So yeah, this is really early morning for me. I normally am sleeping. I try to sleep when I can because insomnia is my buddy, and I've essentially only slept like 2.5 hours, but I woke up to take care of the cats, feed them. So I'm back in bed, and I'm just pondering about all of the stuff that's going on in my mind and what I've discovered, or what I've allowed myself to finally acknowledge, and that I am a strong, independent woman. And some of that's because I was traumatized and I had to be. And this time around, it's because I choose to be. I was allowing myself to stall and be scared of what could possibly happen when I finally told my father that I wasn't going to meet him or my mom before I moved. All of the scenarios went through my mind, and none of them were good. So I'm glad that A, it was through text and not on the phone or in person, and B, that my dad did respond and it was somewhat accepting. I really feel that he wants to have a relationship with me. And he has made a lot of changes in his life. But I still see the monster that I grew up with. The disciplinarian and the mad, angry man that had no clear expectations given to me when I was instructed to do things. Nothing was ever good enough because I never knew what bar to reach. But I also recognize my father as a trauma survivor too. And his inner child needs to be reparented like I'm doing with mine. And his inner child needs to know that everything's going to work out. And that's something he needs to work on if that's what he wants. But I recognize my parents are the way they are for a reason. They've had their own experiences. That does not discount that they should not have treated me and my siblings the way they did. But it's still on a spiritual and a soul level. I'm okay. I'm okay with the idea that I chose this life, and I chose those parents, and I chose the scenarios along with them choosing the scenarios and the dynamics of our relationship and the lessons that I had to learn in this life. And that when we pass on or go home, essentially, we'll be able to say, I love you unconditionally. I'm sorry I had to put you through these lessons, but hopefully we're past that, and hopefully we can see each other in another life, in a different situation, and a different dynamic, until we meet again. I love you. That's what I'm telling myself. Those words are going to be coming through from my mom and dad when they go home, and when I eventually go home. Because I know they're true. I know those are true words. And I know that I've been talking about healing myself and reparenting myself and going to therapy. And I've also been talking about my spirituality, and that I believe in like reincarnation, and I believe in a whole bunch of like, medium or psychic type stuff. And that you, as my listener and my friend, might not agree with everything that I am talking about. I would like for you to keep an open mind, and it's okay that you don't agree with me. I am totally fine with that. I might just be some crazy rambling woman to some of you. I'm also okay with that. But through my journey in this life, when something rings true to me, I go towards it. And so I'm going to dabble spirituality and, reincarnation and that type of thing in my podcast, because that's part of me. That's part of my truth. And I hope that's interesting to you all. But definitely, I can be reached on Facebook. I can be reached on TikTok and Instagram. And I would really like your feedback. And if you have questions for me, or if you are interested in co-hosting with me about a specific topic, whatever, I'm available. And I hope that you have a wonderful day, because you deserve it. Until next time.